who is back on your screen.
Yep, that's me. I'm back, guys. I'm so excited. Thank you so much for your support, for each and every one of you who comments and gives me feedback. I value that. I can't overemphasize it. I have said it a million times. Okay, hazijafika a million, but I will keep saying it over and over because it's not something I take for granted. Thank you for your support and and your comments. It's been a minute. We had a sit down. Actually, I'm standing right now, so whatever still counts as a sit down. So today's topic is quite interesting. I want us to talk about relationship skills. And when you talk about relationship skills, I know most of us are thinking romantic relationships. But as long as you're existing by there, as long as you are on this earth, you have a relationship with someone. It could be a family relationship where you have your siblings, your parents, your guardians, your anyone, relatives. It could be a business relationship where you have your partner or your, the people that you're working with. It could be a mentorship where, you are the mentee or you're the mentor, whichever it is. So relationships are always surrounding us as adults or as people generally. And you see, like how when you're working somewhere, ama when you're looking for a job, they're looking for some skills. They need someone with some qualifications or those qualifications. Even in a relationship, by the way, there's some skills that are needed, that are important for it to thrive and and have a smooth sail through that relationship. So I want us to look at those skills, and before we move forward, I want to say that this list is not exhaustive, so feel free to comment and just let us know, or whoever will come across this video, let them see what different skills you think are important for a relationship. And so it's not exhaustive, and these skills, it's not something that you just wake up one day and you have. It's things you'll have to work to be better at, or perfecting them every day. We are learning and we are picking something new from different people that you interact with. So relationship skills, that's what we are talking about today.
I am loved by the God of all. I am loved. Yes, I am loved.
And we have different kinds. We have vulnerability, we have honesty, we have trust, we have assertiveness, and self-sacrifice. Simply, those are the ones I want to focus on today. Yep. With that said, the first thing is vulnerability. So vulnerability is basically you being willing to expose your emotions and your weaknesses to people. And you know what it says? It's like telling people, but these are my weaknesses, this is where you can attack me, and vulnerability is such an important skill because it shows people that you want to let them in, and it takes time. Obviously, you don't just wake up and start showing your weaknesses to people, and being in an African culture where that skill was not instilled in us when you were young, maybe because of our environment, our parents didn't, or our guardians didn't teach us to just expose our emotions like that. It's something that we have acquired over time. So there could be underlying reasons why people don't expose their weaknesses to people. Maybe something has happened to them and they don't want to show that side of them anymore. And and the other thing is simply the environment that you grew up in. It's an important skill because once you learn it, you expose yourself even to meaningful conversations with people, and you give room even for other people to open up to you, so simply that's just being vulnerable. You're showing people, this is where I am weak at, these are some of the things I suck at, and this is what I am good in. And there are different ways you can acquire that. Obviously, this is not also exhaustive. So you can start with the small things like complimenting people. Did you know that complimenting someone is exposing your weakness? Because it's showing someone, this is what I think about you. I think your shoes are good. I think you're amazing. I think you are this and that. And true story, by the way, I'm the kind of person who used to compliment people in my head, and I would be like, oh my God, she looks so beautiful. And I wouldn't say it. It's something that I have learned to say. It's something that I have had to work at, to work on. That's the right preposition, to work on. Yeah, complimenting people and exposing your weaknesses, telling someone, by the way, I'm not good at this. That's where you even build meaningful conversations, not these small talks. We want to get deep, we want to be authentic in our conversations, and being vulnerable is a perfect place to start with that. The other relationship skill that is really critical and we need to have is trust. When you trust someone, it's simply telling them, by the way, I am relying on you, I am putting my confidence in you. And trusting someone is not easy, obviously. It's something that you earn. You don't demand trust from people, you have to earn it. And I would say that these points are connected because, like, the skills that I am talking about today, they are connected because you can trust someone who is not open to you, and being vulnerable to someone gives them room to open up. So you see how they are kind of building up on each other. So trust is such a critical point in a relationship because it gives room for people to have conversations. Also, when you trust someone, it makes it easy for you to admit to them when you are wrong, and it makes it easy to solve conflicts because like, you've warmed up to this person, and so it's easy for you to say, by the way, I messed up here and I feel we can do this and that to avoid making such a mistake again. It just makes it easy to work around things and solve things. Yeah, and as I said, it's not something you demand from someone, it's something you have to earn with time. It takes time to build. And I know you've heard of people saying, I don't trust you anymore, because you gave them a reason to doubt you. That's why we are saying trust is not something that just comes. You don't just tell someone, I need you to trust me, Ama, you have to trust me. No, it's something that they have to observe over time and say, for sure, I can trust this person. The third skill we can talk about today is being assertiveness, simply. When you are assertive, it means you are able to give your opinion positively and confidently. You're able to say, this is what I feel, I prefer this and that, and this is what I don't like, So you state your no very clearly and your yes very clearly. And this goes a very long way, by the way, in any kind of relationship. For example, if it's a work environment and you are very solid about your opinions, not in a way that puts people down, obviously, but in a way that is confident and loving, it's easy for people to know, by the way, this is what I can, this is as far as I can go with Dodo. These are the comments I can make around her, or these are the things I can do or not do around her, because she states her opinion openly and confidently to people, so they know how to address her. And for example, also in a mentorship relationship, you see, when you approach someone to be your mentor, it's so easy for them to guide you when they know what you want. Like, when you state clearly what you want from them, it's easy for them now to walk with you that journey, compared to a person who comes blindly. They don't know where to start, and they want you to do everything for them. Well, I'm not dismissing that I am simply saying it's easier when you are assertive, it's easier when you know what you want, because it even makes the journey shorter or simpler, as compared to someone who really doesn't know what they want. Well, there are people who are so accommodating anyway. They will take you as you are, and they will just walk with you the journey of life, and they will guide you in different questions that you have. Sometimes that's acceptable. You don't have to know everything that you want in life, but you can have someone who you can ask different questions just to get even a clear direction. So being assertive is really important. And let me tell you, by the way, being assertive can save you a lot of trouble. It can save you a lot of anxiety and a lot of stresses. When you state your mind clearly to people, they'll avoid crossing those lines, and so you're settled. You don't have any conflicts with people, you don't have anxieties. When someone is really quiet about their opinions, like they don't express themselves, you find that these people are always stressed up because they don't want to annoy someone, someone has made them sad but they can't talk about it. So being assertive is really to your own advantage at the end of the day, not even for the person that is you are in a relationship with, or someone you're connected to. It saves you a lot of stresses and a lot of anxiety. So yeah, it's something we can embrace. And just a way that we can acquire that skill, you can start by saying no. I know that's the hardest word by the way to say. It's really hard to say no to people, especially people we love and people that matter to us. It's really hard to say no, but let me promise you that once you start saying no to things that you don't agree with, you'll find life so easy. That's the simplest place to start. The other skill I wanted to talk about today is honesty. Honesty, my goodness, honesty. I don't know whether you've been in a matatu or in a bus or in a mat, and someone is lying to someone boldly in daylight, and they're telling them wamefika hapa, but the truth is even the bus hasn't left, and this person is waiting for them. Man, I really don't like, even I personally don't like those small lies, the obvious lies that I really feel irritated by them when I hear someone on the mat lying about something like that. So honesty is not just telling the truth, it's about you communicating, like being authentic with who you are. You can be true to yourself even before you come to be true to with other people, to other people. So it starts with you. What do you value? What are the things that you can cope with, and I think honesty and vulnerability, they go like this, they go hand in hand. They are connected because you have to be honest. When you're being vulnerable with someone, you have to be honest. So honesty is really a big skill, and it's so admirable to find people who are honest about anything and everything. The last point that we're going to talk about when it comes to relationship skills is self-sacrifice. This is simply putting your desires aside and your wants and your interests for the sake of the other person. I cannot think of a better example than an example that is common to all of us is, look at your parents or your guardians. Your guardians have sacrificed their time, their resources, just for you to be in a better place. I know we are now thinking about it and you're like, wow, that was self-sacrifice, that was just giving of themselves. And for any relationship by day to work, there's no way you are in a relationship with someone or you're connected to someone and you are not willing to, deny yourself just for a little bit for the sake of the other person. Think of someone who is in hospital. Think of your friend who is in hospital, or they have gone for a checkup and they ended up being medicated, and this medication is a bit heavy for them, and you are maybe lying in bed watching your favorite show on Netflix, and this person hits you up because they need to come and get them because they feel weak, to go home. You as a friend, the best thing you can do is just, your movie by there, you can finish it up some other time. So you sacrifice your rest for the sake of this other person. That's just an example of self-sacrifice. And as a believer, the biggest self-sacrifice I know is Christ. Him literally sacrificing himself. He was sacrificed for me to have an abundant life, and that's why I have a relationship with him. And I know that I also have to give something. I have to also sacrifice some things that you feel are important. At the end of the day, they are not. And those are just examples of self-sacrifice. And just to conclude, I would say that every of this skill, every point every skill I have mentioned here is really critical for any relationship to prosper, and it's not something that you learn, you pick up once and that's it. It's something that you have to work on a daily basis, as long as you want to have meaningful relationships with your family, with your partner, with your business partners. So guys, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for subscribing. I am just so humbled. And please don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and make sure to leave a comment. Let me know what skill resonates with you, or what other skill should have been on this list. That's it from me. Have a good day, week, whatever it is. Bye.